Hi guys, happy Wednesday. Wowsy Wednesday, February 18th here. So I want to bring your attention to Alice Johnson here, Marie Johnson, 63 years old. This is back in 2018, just so you know. Because of Kim Kardashian pleading to commute Alice Marie Johnson's life sentence, she was already serving about 22 years, nonviolent offender, selling D's. And so this is interesting because we were just going to see in a minute her coming up, showing and gaslighting us that how Taco likes African Americans. So let me just tell you about Alice Marie Johnson, 63 years old, great-grandmother who was convicted of cocaine trafficking in 1996. So I want you to understand this. She got a life sentence, and Taco will literally say it was because of a phone call. This is not a phone call, okay? You don't get a life sentence for a phone call, okay? Just so you understand, you don't get a life sentence for a phone call. And so her sentence was commuted, okay? Remaining whatever, 28 years or whatever it was. She's 63 years old, okay? So let me just play this clip where he introduces Alice as not doing the things that she got convicted of. Okay? Listen to how he explains Alice and what Alice says.
This is a big job. This is a big job. Alice Johnson. Alice? Where's Alice? What a sweetheart. I met Alice and she was incarcerated for what some people would say today is not even a fine, right, Alice? It's not even a fine. And I said, how long has she been in jail? 22 years. I said, 22 years. And right, Alice? And come on up here, Alice. Come on up. I said 22 years, and she was on a phone call. This was over a phone call. I know about fake phone calls too, Alice, you know? Remember?
It's not about a phone call, guys. This is not a phone call. And the problem here is he keeps on bombing boats in Venezuela and elsewhere and talking about how these undocumented immigrants are engaging in D's and R and M when he is pardoning literally the people that are engaging in the same things that he's saying he's trying to get rid of in the United States. Okay? And that's because of her. So she mentioned it to him, and then she's doing when she came to the White House in 2018. So he commuted her sentence in 2018. And now he lies and says it was a phone call. That she served 22 years in prison, which she did, okay? A life sentence, and of that life sentence, she already served 22 years over a phone call. This is how this idiot lies to us.
They tried to get me in a fake phone call. But Alice was in jail for like 22 years. I said, how many years does she have left? 28. I said, 28 years left. And I said it, and she admitted she made a little mistake, but it was not the kind of a mistake that you serve 50 years in jail for. Like maybe a couple of months, maybe less than that. And I said, this is the most unfair. And then when I met her, I fell in love. I felt my wife was very upset with it. Our great first lady did not like that, Scott. She didn't like it, but Alice is great. And say a couple of words. It was so ridiculous. 22 years, she had 28 left. And I said, let's get her the hell out. And we got her out. We did a commute. And then when I got to know her, she was so high quality. I said, full pardon. So she's cleaner than anybody in this room, even than my friend right here. She's cleaner. Because of that, she's cleaner than anybody in this room.
Thank you, Mr. President. The feeling was mutual. I fell in love with this man, with his heart, with his heart for this country, with his heart to really bring America back to the form of greatness that it deserved. And that's exactly what he has done. My story is truly a Joseph story. This president right here, President Donald Trump, brought me from the prison pit to the White House. Only in America could there be a story like my story. And President Trump is the only president who would have had the courage to bring someone like me, someone who received a second chance, but who knows more than someone who has sit among the captives, than someone who has been in captivity themselves. I did not get comfortable in my own freedom, but I went back. As Harriet Tubman said she did, she went back to draw many others into freedom. And President Trump has listened to those recommendations. There's so much more to come, because when you see me, you see a miracle. You see hope. You see second chances. And you see someone who is willing to roll up their sleeves and do the work, do the hard work to help individuals gain their freedom. President Trump did something historic in his first term. He signed the First Step Act into law. And for that, over 40,000, and that number is low, over 40,000 individuals have come home to their families early. And you know, many of those were Black Americans who had no hope. This president right here, as you look out upon this sea of Black Americans, this president hears you. This president cares for you. Don't let anyone tell you that this president right here, Donald Trump, is not for Black America, because he is. I'm standing here today as a testament to how he feels about Black Americans. There has never been a position like this. I don't know if there ever will be before. But I worked with him in his first term, and I'm proud to now officially have the title to make it happen. Let's get real with the realness. Let's get behind President Trump, who truly has turned our nation around and made us the envy of every country in the world. Thank you, Mr. President, and thank you, God, for recognizing and raising up this man to be the leader of the free world. I love you.
Great woman. You know, when I was looking for a pardon person, like a pardon czar, they gave me somebody from Harvard, somebody from Yale, somebody from Princeton, somebody from Penn, somebody from Stanford. And I said, do you know anything about it? Well, we can learn. They can learn. And when I met Alice, I said, she's better than these people. And she's done a fantastic job. You know, I said to Alice, I said, so I'm looking for people like you to let out. How many people are there like you? She said, many. I said, many in jail. Think of it. 22 years she was in jail, and she had 28 years to go on a phone call. You admit you did a little something wrong, right? But it was like, okay. It wasn't 50 years. Even if you said 6 months, today it would be probably nothing. But even if you said some little time, but I said, I'm looking for other people like you. How many are there? Many. Then I was worried, I said, well, maybe she's going to say everybody should be let out. We're not a believer in that. I said, so Alice, are there people that shouldn't be? You met a lot of people, right? Are there people that shouldn't be let out? Absolutely. Then I felt better. Because there are some bad ones in there too, right? But you are fantastic, and you've been great and so respected all over the country, all over the world in a sense. You become a very big story. Thank you very much, Alice. I appreciate it.